Now that you understand the basics of mining, it's time to learn how to build your first base. Now luckily, PlanetSide 2 gives all new players some basic structures, and we'll show you that right now. Now there's two ways to get structures or get access to building in general, which is to either use your ant by pulling over to some piece of ground that cannot be in a red zone. So when you see these red zones here, no matter how light or dark they are, you cannot build in those zones. So there's two ways to get access to base building. You can either go directly to the silo and utilize the terminal on the side of the silo. The other option is to push the B button and deploy your ant. When you deploy an ant, a terminal pops up on the back. You can exit the vehicle, go to the back of the ant, and once you're facing the terminal, you can see it says E to access equipment. I can press E, and then I have access to the base building structures. Now, I have a lot of things unlocked. Most new players do not have this. You'll have to unlock certain things, and it will cost you either certs, which you earn in the game through XP, or it'll cost you what's called Daybreak Cash. Daybreak Cash is basically using your credit card to purchase items in the game. The good news is if you unlock this weapon, it will be unlocked usually across multiple characters. That's why this brand new character has so many things unlocked, because on one of my accounts I purchased these things, and that gave all of my characters, no matter what level, access to them. So when you look at the actual structures, the most important thing to put down first is the silo. You want to put a silo down and make sure that you filled it. Once you have filled the silo, you can then start to build structures off of the silo by going over to the terminal and doing the exact same thing. It's the same exact menu. So this is basically what you do. Now, if you go to an item to put it down, you have two types of ways to pay. Never use certs once it's unlocked. You use certs or Daybreak Cash to unlock it, as you can see there. Once it's unlocked, it will simply have a buy option. It's very, very important to only use the ore in the silo, which is what this means, the 3000 ore. Do not use your certs to buy certain things, okay? You only use the certs to unlock the initial access to this structure. So keep in mind, there is unlocking access and then buying that item you've unlocked using the ore. If you use your certs to buy things, you're going to run out of money constantly. This is very, very important. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and put down a wall. A lot of people will understand how to do this, but let me just show you anyway. So I'm going to push buy, and it's going to let me choose either certs or ore. And I'm going to use ore. I'm never going to use certs for that. So this is where I will place the wall out here. Now I'm going to minimize the mini map so you can see a little bit better. I can use the left mouse button to rotate counterclockwise. I can use the right mouse button to rotate clockwise. I can move it up, I can move it down. When it's green, I can place it by pushing the letter E. So when I'm putting a wall down, I want to make sure that it's not too low or too high, because I won't be able to do that. So I'm going to put it right here and push the letter E. Now initially it's invisible, but it's building. It's basically a placeholder. If somebody is driving and they hit this, it will still stop them, but it's not very strong yet. So if somebody shoots at it, it will be destroyed much quicker than when it's fully built. Now, as far as repairing walls, every structure in the game has a little tiny terminal. You can't do anything with the terminal other than repair from that location. So I can't press E to access it. The terminal is going to show up here in just a second. You'll see it. Okay, so there's the outline of it. Now once the terminal shows up, I can use, as an engineer only, I can use my repair tool and repair this. And you can see the wrench is perfectly full, so there's nothing to repair. This is how you start building structures. Now, it's very important to learn how to build a base that's easy to defend, and that's not going to happen right away. You'll be very, very fortunate if the first thing you build is an awesome base. Most of the time, you're going to struggle just to learn how to put things down so they're not, blocking access to the base or somehow letting enemies drive right through your base. So learning placement takes time. Now, one thing I would recommend is to make sure you have a bunker placed, because a bunker gives you access to the infantry terminal, and that will allow you to choose different classes or reload your character with mines or claymores. So as you can see here, I'm in the mine as it's being built. I'm in the bunker, that is, as it's being built. It acts like a temporary structure. Of course, like I said, it's not very strong. Now, once the building is completed, a terminal will pop up here, and you'll see that in just 1 second. So here we go. This is now a terminal that we can have access to other classes with. I can choose a light assault, and I can equip it. I can also rearm my character by pushing E twice. So here's my light assault, and I can fly up onto the top. There's also, of course, stairs. Now, one thing to remember if you want to quickly resupply, like I mentioned, is simply go up to a terminal and push E, and then push E again, and that'll rearm your character if you've used mines or whatnot. Now, one thing that's important to understand is a silo only has a certain radius of effect. If you build outside of that radius, then you're going to have structures that degrade very quickly. They basically don't last long outside the base's effect zone. So I will put down a tower and show you this actual line. The bases are pretty big, but see that green line or whatever color that is up at the top of the hill? I'm colorblind, so you have to forgive me. But this line up here is the limit of where a structure can be placed without degrading very, very quickly. I can place the structure outside the line like this, but it will disappear within a matter of minutes. If I put it over here within this circle, it'll last a very long time. Now, generally speaking, I would not place structures spread all over the place. You usually want to build a base that's easy to defend, and a base that's very, very spread out is difficult to defend. So I will put this tower there. Now, when this tower is completed, it will basically give people an area to have higher ground. I can actually go up the stairs right now. It's very important to have the high ground in this game. It makes a big difference. Let me try to jump through this properly. So light assaults are the only class that can go through the top. So right now, the only person that can reach me is another light assault. It's one of the reasons I really like the infantry tower. It gives you a commanding view of your base, and it's one of those structures that basically people like to check out. And that's it. So with that, we'll see you in the next video.